King of
Ooh,
Nigerian web
King of
series.
Nigeria. Where's my crown?
Exactly. See, where's your crown? Because you actually need a crown.
Yes.
But yes, we were saying like you said, you and Dami did not write on the same season of Skinny Girl.
No, so I came on board Skinny Girl season 5, and then the final season she wrote was season 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wrote Skinny Girl season 5 with Bumi Ajakai.
Okay.
On season 6.
Okay. So yes, you're going to own that title and you need a crown for it.
Woohoo! Yeah.
So let's form calm now. After harassing you with that. So how are you doing? Like right now? How are you?
I'm good. I'm in a good place. Obviously, unless the environment is trying to stress you out, but I'm in a good place.
Nigeria is trying to stress you out.
Yeah, shutting everything out. I'm working, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm creating, which is also good. So it's not just writing. I'm creating things on the side that I like to. What I'd like to do is I like to create things that okay. What if the what do I really want to write? Not things that I'm commissioned to write. So that and the thing is that they might never get commissioned, but it just
Yeah.
gives me if God feel like I created this, like this didn't exist before just by myself, looking at my bedroom walls.
Ooh, God feel. I love that.
I got it from my party, God engine. But yeah.
Shout out Xavier. Well, fair enough. Actually good to exercise your creative muscle. So you're not only just doing work for money or work for let me just give this person.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because obviously I left the job then. Because if you keep, for me, if when I keep doing that, it feels like I'm in a job still.
What job did you leave?
Oh, by the way, don't play with me. I'm a chartered accountant, ACCA. But so yeah, I was working
Wow.
I was financial analyst at Dangote.
Say that louder. Why did your voice drop?
Because I wasn't going to, but I was a financial analyst at Dangote Salt, to be specific.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I said, you know
I
what?
just realized Dangote has salt.
See, I'm doing marketing for them. They should pay me, brand ambassador.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get to that. But okay, let me still be asking how is your 2021? Like, how is it going? Because everybody says last year was chaotic. Was it the same for you?
Generally, yes. But then I don't want to, without downplaying what happened last year, because you can't downplay it. But
And it's still kind of
and
happening.
it's still kind of happening. But the truth is that my lifestyle didn't really change because I'm an indoors kind of guy normally.
Yeah.
Normally I don't resume in an office. Oh, well, I had an office space before, but I don't like have to resume in an office, right? Because of the kind of job I do. I work from home.
Yes.
I'm usually with my family at home. As in, so like that's why I wouldn't say my life was impacted the way other people or the rest of the world was.
Yeah.
So a lot didn't change, and it was easier. So obviously, at some point, it was just a case of shutting out what's happening. So it was easier for me to feel like, oh, this is 2019. So yeah, and it's pretty much where I am right now.
So it's still the same flow for you for 2021?
Yes, even though I want to be going out more now. Because there's this thing, like one of my favorite artists, Ed Sheeran, he was just like, you know what, she stopped recording, I think 2019, or basically stopped putting out music and said he needed to go and live life again.
Oh
to
yeah, I
have
remember
new
seeing that
experience.
post.
And for me, it
Yes.
was quite instructive, like not every time writing. Go out, go and read, live, experience, talk to people so that you're not writing the same
Exactly, and
conversations.
experiences will influence your writing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what. But I don't have money to travel. But I want to travel and experience more of Africa. Actually, I want to experience more of Africa, if anything.
Okay. So now you were a chartered accountant.
Woohoo! I am.
You still are.
Yeah, I'm a chartered
Is
accountant.
that correct in English? You still are. Yes.
Is it-
Yes. You just sounded wrong.
Yeah, it's fine.
But okay, but you don't do that. Like that's not your job right now.
Yeah, but to be fair, I still do a bit of consulting on the side.
Yeah, get coins anyhow, Sha.
There's not like they pay like that, but I just do it on the side. Maybe as the
Are you
way
passionate about it?
No, I'm not. That's why I left it. So I'm not passionate about the number side, which is the financial accounting, but I'm passionate about the analytical side. So basically analyzing a business, and so that's why so I analyze for people close to me.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it's not really money. So I like it, and I even analyze for writers as well, because that's another thing that we'll probably I don't know if we're getting into. It's like the business side of writing.
Yes.
A lot of people don't analyze themselves as businesses. which I like to
They
talk to
don't see
people.
writing as a business. It's
Exactly.
to them, it's just creative. And
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things when I was coming into the industry was I had to analyze because so I had to justify coming into the industry, right? Because I'm leaving accounting, which obviously there's a clear path. I
yeah.
have like a decent job. I can, you know, hopefully rise or get another job
Mm-hmm.
after being here for a while. So I had to look at it like, what is this industry worth? What percentage of the industry can I take? Who are the top players in the industry? Just regular analysis that a business would do before they say go into a new
Yes.
market. Do you as a writer do that, or you just do vibes and inshallah and hope that
A lot of us actually we just close our eyes and go in like will
Ex-
of God.
will of God, exactly. And then
But
some
this,
people.
I really like this.
Yeah, so that's it. That's what I try to tell people. Like, yes, sometimes it will just happen for you,
Mm.
but then and like analyze the market. I don't want to go. I can talk
Go,
about that
go.
for.
You should
So yeah,
because
so
people
for
need
so
to learn about this.
so the way I see it is that like I tell like for me the market is divided, right? There's the film industry, say
Yes,
cinema. There's the TV industry. The king of
exactly.
that is say Africa Magic.
Mm-hmm.
There's TV movies, right? There's that's
Iroko,
Iroko. And then there's the
web,
web, say
yes.
Ndani and Red TV, or
Mm-hmm.
without being I'm just giving like the
Yeah,
major
yeah, of
players,
course.
so that's 4 different markets. So basically I want you to now so when a young writer comes to me, I'm trying to blow blah blah blah. Okay, I want you to now like have you recognized that those are the
Do
markets?
you
Do you know
watch
what the going rate for each of these
exactly?
markets is? You say, oh, a writer should not be paid less than this, that. How much are the producers getting to produce that movie? Why should they pay you X percentage
Exactly.
of? So it's just understanding the market, and then rising because I've written cinema, right? I've written.
Tell what's the name of the cinema
Oh,
film you're in?
and sure, let me blow my. This is the
Yes.
year.
You should like plug yourself. Say it.
So like maybe I can't remember the year now, but a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I wrote a movie called Just Not Married. And
Okay.
he went to cinema, and it actually got selected to go to something at Toronto International Film Festival.
Tiff.
TIFF,
Yay.
yes. So yeah, so I did that. I so yeah, so I've done I've
So you've done
explored that
cinema,
market. I've done
you've done
cinema, I've
TV,
done
you're
TV,
still
or
doing
I'm doing
TV.
TV, or let me even I've done Iroko. Like
So
I've
you've done
written
like the four.
exactly.
You've explored the four parts.
Yes, but obviously I had like there was like a pathway, and then I tell people to be cautious, right? Because at the time, obviously, this was me when I did my own analysis. Was that everybody comes to me and they're like, "Oh, guy, I want to write for Ndani," and I'm like, "Isn't Ndani really like? Is that really going to do anything for you?" Like, because
Yeah.
for me, when I did my analysis, I was just like, you know what? Of all these people, Africa Magic are the ones that produce consistently, as in
Yes.
TV. They
Yes.
produce like okay, at the time I think it was one
Yeah, they
telenovela.
started with one.
Exactly. They
And
produce.
before even that, they started with TV
Oh
movies.
yeah, that's one of
I'm
actually
off.
I have to give Africa Magic credit for my
Like,
life because that's one of the first places the second time I got TV credits was
they are very
Amoff
consistent with creation
because
of jobs.
exactly. So there was Africa Magic on that TV part. Then there's Iroko. A lot of people are like, I don't write Iroko films. There's Iroko
But
who's commissioning like
they're
400
trying out
films a year.
things.
So like you have to. So I feel those were like for me the clear paths to
Yes.
get in, to write, to show people I can write, to say, oh, I wrote this movie,
Mm-hmm.
to show I'm worthy of like you give it, because it's one thing to say I'm a good writer, but it's another thing for a producer to trust you
Yes.
to write what's in your head
And
and
deliver.
give me that I'm going to build this whole film on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a level of trust from the producer. So it's both ways, and I just feel like people should be more intentional about their careers. Yes.
Nice. Thank you for
My TED
that.
talk is over.
No, you're just starting. So what year did you leave the office job? And I know you already said passion. I know, but like I feel I want a specific. What was that moment they're like, you know what, I'm leaving?
So let me talk about how I got in first of all.
Yes.
So I was in the UK for a while.
Yee.
Yeah, I was in the UK for a while. And then I worked in a call center.
Okay.
I worked with I can't remember the name of the company, but basically I was on British Gas account. And yeah, I was working
That
with
sounds
British Gas.
big.
It sounds big, but I'm just that guy on the phone. Hello, do you want to buy some gas?
But
And it was cold calling, as in it was stuff I'd never done. But
like you're a
obviously, I was a
salesperson.
salesperson.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
exactly. So you're calling people who are watching football. You're calling people who are in the park. As in, it was just
I've
weird.
watched enough of The Office to know that's frustrating.
It is, yeah. And obviously, they fired me because I wasn't hitting my target. But yeah, well, luckily after that, I then got a job with RB. Oh shit, I got. Am I allowed to?
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think I pronounce. You can say brands, but not.
okay,
Yes.
okay. I now worked with NatWest.
Okay.
So yeah, I worked with Anyway, the bottom line of this is I was working in a call center, right? And then so I was working in NatWest inbound call center, and for me it was fascinating. Yeah, it's a boring job, but the people around you make it fun. People on your
Yeah.
team, but then it's also fascinating that I'm just at the other end of the phone, and I have access to the world, like the NatWest world.
Yeah.
In that you call me from wherever you are, you're in Afghanistan, your card has been blocked. I'm the one that'll solve your problem. I just felt like, yeah, you just have to find a way to make your job make you feel good.
Yes.
So it was just interesting. Like I was interacting with different people with different problems. And if you look at it in a way, it's like a TV show about what do you call it? A hospital, Grey's Anatomy.
Yes.
Just a doctor. Yeah, just in your space, and then the whole world comes to you.
Yes.
It's just so basically I create in my mind, I was like, oh, what if there was a show like this?
Mm.
And then I had this whole business plan. So first of all, I had like a blog series. I had like a blog series, which I then published, or basically it was published or it's still there on Why Niger or something like that.
What's it called? Fair enough.
I can't remember, but I really enjoyed it. Like I really enjoyed it, right? Because but coming back, so basically I was in Nigeria working as an accountant. I went to see one of my friends who he's a filmmaker, Soji Oguneke. He wanted to basically do his books. But then obviously I got talking more about film with him than the
Your
accountant.
actual work.
Yeah. So I was talking about, it would be nice if we do a TV series about, because again, like maybe because of accounting, I had already sort of like created like a whole business proposal, how it could possibly make money. So the idea was it's cheap because it's one call center. We're not going.
This is why you're so great at pitching.
Am I?
This is why you're so, because you are already like calculating. This is why it works, because producers like things that are affordable and things that work for them. So you're already
exactly in hindsight. Yeah, exactly. And that's obviously Iroko and then Amof, if you remember.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I had the whole. This is why it will work. We'll go to this brand. So basically, we targeted. We'll target the telcos. And they won't come on it because it's basically a way for them to advertise their new products. It's product placement. That kind of thing. And then I left. And then obviously doing his books, blah, blah, blah. And then Soji Oguneke, like, maybe, I thought nothing of the conversation, to be honest. And then maybe like 3 weeks later, he sends me an email. And I see the email. And Soji has created like a character Bible, like a show Bible. Not detailed, but just PowerPoints. And I'm just fascinated, like, oh shit, this might really be happening. And he said, he wants me to write it. Oh, so I write it.
So before that, have you written a script before that?
No. So here's my first problem. I write it on Word document and I send it to him. And it's not even just writing on Word document. Like I didn't know I had to write like all the details.
Yeah, no format, nothing.
No, even the format, I kind of got, I didn't get the format right. But even apart from the format, how I didn't know I was in control of everything. I thought the actor would just walk in, sit where they want, act how. So it was I'll just write the key conversation. This is where she says this. So just the key elements of the scene. So the scene would be like half a page. So which was a good thing. He just said, I should look for that script and put it out. But he just, also what Soji did was he just said, have you heard of Final Drafts? That's all he said. So I knew that, I'd messed up. So I went, Googled, but then the first draft of what I wrote, which is, then it was making me feel like a bad guy. The first draft of what I then wrote was what we shot.
Okay.
But then, in hindsight, it wasn't, it could have been better.
Of course.
It could have been better. But in that moment, I was feeling like a bad guy. Because all the actors, there were a couple of actors, Topka Tedela, I don't know, Kiki Omili,
Nice.
Funny enough, Judith Audu. So Judith Audu actually was an actor on that show. and was like, oh, like that this is one of so a lot of people were telling me this is one of the best scripts I've seen in Nollywood. So my head was like, damn, Nollywood, you guys,
It's
as in
time.
like
I've arrived.
I've arrived. You people have been doing rubbish since. So so and that's how so it was from that script that eventually I wrote this movie I said went to TIFF. It was Judith Aldu that produced it.
Oh,
So that's how I
nice.
met Judith and I did Just Not Married. So I was, to be honest, but there was a whole story because so me and Soji set up a company. It took us like 8 months to get money to fund the show. Before we funded the show, that's when I got my because obviously I needed cash
Were
funds.
you still? Have you already
No,
like
that's
left the office, or you're
no, no,
still?
no. I got my. I wasn't working with. So my mom has an accounting firm,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So that's where I was working when I just came back, and then
Okay.
I went to consult for Soji.
Yes. Okay.
So it was in the middle. It's that 8 month period when um that 8 month period when we're looking for money, funds ran out, and I basically wanted to get like not obviously working with my mom is a proper. I wanted to like work by
Yeah.
myself and not feel like it was family stuff. So I went and got a job in, and then in between we got the funds to shoot plus 234. That's what the show was called. Um we got the funds to shoot. And so that's how the idea for the show came about then, obviously. So I think the question you asked me was that why did I leave?
Leave. Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason I left was so after that I really wanted to write. So I was creating a lot of things. I'll mention something now. So it was in that period I actually created Oga Pastor.
Are you
And so yes,
serious?
so it was that far back. So
Oh,
that's why earlier when I said that right now I'm creating. So there are some things that I just create, and then 4 5 years down the line, someone comes and
this is
says,
actually a very good, like, let's say, learning moment for like other writers. That
yeah,
don't lose
oh
hope.
yeah, there are some
Like
things
some
that
things you create now that will not work for now.
yeah. So
What year was
faces,
this?
faces on Ndani was created in that period.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'd written it. So that's why. So Oga Pastor, for instance, when I had it with took it to Ndani.
Yeah.
I had 13 episodes already.
Oh.
I like faces.
Everything was
Yeah,
ready.
yeah, exactly. But it wasn't like me selling it. It was like I had a lot of time on my hands. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
knew me as a writer. So I was just writing. One, I was getting faster, which I think you need to be fast as a writer in Nigeria. I was getting faster.
Yes.
I was writing out my mistakes. But faces, obviously, when I now took it in Danny, obviously a lot of things changed because
Yeah.
now obviously you have to fit it in with the platform. But the
Yeah.
core idea of it remained. So basically I was doing a lot of writing, and then I just felt like um so in my office, right, at Dangote, I had my office laptop, which didn't allow you install Final Draft. So I had my own personal laptop. So I usually had like two
Two
laptops.
laptops.
So, but obviously, a lot of people are looking at me like, man, this guy that they brought is a genius.
Yes,
He's probably
hardworking.
monitoring the stock market on this one. They didn't know that.
You're doing something else.
So at some point, I had to leave, and yeah, to be fair, they wanted to retain me. They offered me, even when I left, they called me and said they offered me like to increase my salary, which was tempting because I wasn't making money in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I decided to leave, and then even my manager at the time was like, "Guy, you know what? Yeah, you want to do this writing thing, but you can do it on the side because that's what
Yeah.
everybody says."
Yes.
But what I realized was a lot of times people will call me in for meetings, and I can't make the meeting. I'm like,
Yes.
because obviously I have a day job, and then I can't make the meeting, and then the other thing is when I my job was tasking as a financial analyst, like creating reports for meetings and this and that, and we were trying. There was basically we are trying to raise funds, so we're speaking to venture capitalists. So I had to like keep doing analysis and stuff. Um, so it was tasking. So by the time I felt like I was using my leftover brain of the day to write, but
Yeah.
writing is tasking,
Exactly.
and it feels like you need a different side of your brain to do that. So it just wasn't working for me, and so I decided to leave.
Is it something you recommend to other writers that have like day jobs?
To leave.
Yeah.
People say
'Cause I've
I,
seen
I
a lot of
actually
those
tell people.
conversations.
So I hate to have generic conversations. I prefer to have conversations with people one on one because nothing is generic about anything.
Yeah.
But and I like to make recommendations based on what I did.
Yeah.
So obviously my recommendation is always leave, as in focus on this thing. And part of the reason is, so I'll be honest. I'll be honest. When I was leaving the industry, in as much as I said I did analysis, on the set of Plus 234, I met Tunde Babalola. He came on set, and obviously he had good things to say about the script. I don't know that he read it, but obviously just had to be encouraging that this young, right, up and coming writer,
Yeah.
So we had conversations, and then I remember when I was thinking about leaving, I called Tunde Babalola, but this another thing about leaving. I didn't leave, right? I did a bit of research. I called Tunde Babalola. I remember having like a 30-minute conversation with him, and he said that he knows of, right? I like using that he knows of, there might be more, but that he knows of, there are 2 writers that write full time.
Yeah.
So he said Kemi Adesoye and Yinka Ogun. What did I do? I spent like 3 months trying to get to these people. Kemi Adesoye at one point was like, "This, but what do you want from me?" Like she said, "Let's talk on the phone." I said no. Because the truth is, I didn't know what I wanted from her. I just wanted to sit and talk So but before I met her, I had left the industry. As in, I had left my job. But I made sure I looked for these people that were doing it. Because I think I get ahead of myself with questions. The question is, do I advise people?
I'm enjoying the way you're talking.
Do I advise people? I advise people. So basically, the reason I'm saying that is I looked for these people. Truth is, so I thought that, okay, in this industry, because I had gotten hyped from Plus 234 that in this industry, there are only 3 people better than me. Tunde Babalola, Kemi Adesoye, Yinka Ogun. So I had the confidence that I might go through my whole life being a chartered accountant.
Will soon be like them.
And I might not be the 100th best in Nigeria, but I'm already number 4. What is this? I'm going to conquer Africa, at least the minimum.
Yes.
So that's the confidence I left my job with. I'll be honest. That's the confidence I left my job with. And which is a good thing, because if I didn't have that confidence, I probably might not have left my job.
Yeah.
But it was now when I got into the industry. I now got into African Magic. I now realized that, guy, calm down, be calming down. But I looked for, but the thing is that for me, it was important I spoke to Kemi Adesoye. It was important I spoke, because I like to speak to people that have been there before me.
Yeah.
So it was important I had those conversations with Kemi Adesoye. It was important I had those conversations with Yinka Ogun. And those kind of opened my eyes. And to be fair, because I was a decent writer, they gave me opportunities. Yinka Ogun was the first person to put me in a writer's room. It was an Ebony Life project. Kemi Adesoye was the first person to put me in an Africa Magic writer's room, which was on Battleground. And basically, I've learned along the way, and I've, so no, I don't know if I answered the question.
You did. It's fair enough.
Okay, yeah. So yes, that's pretty much.
Okay, so let's go to web. So
Right.
Skinny Girl, how did that happen?
Ooh. Again, I don't know why I feel like chatting. I don't talk normally, but
I'm
yes,
so happy I'm
like...
making it talk. Lani's always so quiet,
Yeah.
but I'm happy this is happening.
So I'll go back a little bit, because Skinny Girl wasn't the first thing I did with Ndani.
Okay.
So it's a weird story, right? Ndani, I don't even know that Ndani knows this. I don't think I've ever mentioned it to Ndani. Yeah. Ndani put out they did a call out for series a while back. This was before RHI2, Rumor Has It too. And obviously I didn't get called. This was when I was in my own for looking for work up and down. I was just like, God damn it, me that I'm the 4th best writer in Nigeria. How can they not pick my project?
Yeah.
And then I was on Battleground.
Okay.
And it was quite intense.
1 or 2?
1, no,
okay.
Battleground 1. So I was in the writing room. I wish I could talk about the writing room for Battleground 1.
Why can't you talk about it?
No, because it's not the question you asked me before.
But you can still like...
No. Okay, so basically the writing room for Battleground 1 was... Okay, let me just... Please, if I forget the question, bring me back to it.
Yeah.
I like to talk about the writing room for Battleground 1. There was the head writer, Kemi Adesoye. There was the story editor, Ayo Adeyanju. There was a script editor, Pearl Osibo.
Yeah.
Right? And then there was me. So the thing is, the way African Magic works is that these 3 people were on a salary, right? And the way that writing room was, it wasn't like there was a writing room for 2 weeks and then everybody goes home. So it was basically, it was like an office, which to be fair, I enjoyed. So basically, it was an office where we were resuming every day. Basically, we used to go to Kemi Adesoye's office to break stories. So
Oh.
yeah, so it was a daily thing.
Mm.
I was so, but I was committed to that process, even though I wasn't getting a salary.
But I
And
think
the
we should
other three,
explain that people get paid for scripts, but not salary.
yeah,
Just like
exactly. So
not as you're doing work for free.
so I was technically doing work for
Oh,
free.
you were?
So let me even
Okay.
explain exactly, because the other three people were on
Yeah.
a salary, like for script editing, for head writing.
Yes,
And
yes.
so obviously they had reason to be
Oh, you
there.
were doing you're
So
also doing the same work.
I was in the room with them, resuming daily. So four of us
Oh, okay.
used to resume daily. And the fact that I was in the room meant that sometimes I wouldn't get scripts to write because I had deliverables on that side.
Yeah.
And because of, how it can get intense with production, TX dates
Yes.
and whatnot, they needed quick turnover. So I was losing out on that, but for me, if I felt like, I tell people that was like a school for me, because in those three people when they are breaking story, I'm just there. Like, I'm just like, wow, okay. Before I catch up to what they are saying, they've
Yeah.
gone like 10 steps ahead. But it was a learning curve for me. But the thing is that I always try to feel present and useful. So maybe
Yes.
when they've said something and they want to write, I'll be like, no, don't worry, me, I'll write it. So as in,
Yes.
like,
So you're bringing value. At least
exactly,
you're
let
doing
me
something.
be bringing value.
Yeah.
But the truth is that my head writer appreciated it because she understood that she tried to get me on a salary because she knew I was working.
Yeah,
As
you're
in, like,
doing
and it
the
was
work.
unfair that
Mm-hmm.
I was coming every day. I wasn't getting credit. I didn't get screen credit. As in, like, I wasn't, obviously, I was just a writer.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, but the truth is that I think that helped because now I've been story editor twice.
Yes.
Because technically, so even at the end of that project, to be fair, some things happened. Some people had to leave the project. They brought other writers in. Technically, for the last 40 episodes of Battleground, I was technically story editing. But I didn't even try to say, oh, they should change the credits on screen. For me, it wasn't even about all that. It was about, to be honest, it was like, can I do this thing?
Mm.
It's
like, I've been calling myself fourth best writer now. Now it's time to step. It's time to step into the.
By this time, I was the fourth best writer in the room of 4 people.
See.
So I had been humbled.
Yes.
I had been humbled. So that's but anyway. But I respected the process. I respected that I needed to go through this process, that finances, and trust me, it was a tough process because I had just gotten married. I needed money.
Yeah.
Right. It was a tough process, but I knew that I had to do it because I'm a believer. I believe processes. I hate all these flash in the pan. There's people that write one thing and anyway, let's not go
blue.
there. Yeah. Not even they,
Is
and
it
they
overnight?
feel like it's not even. Sometimes, let's be honest. Sometimes the things aren't great, but people hype it. But I don't want to go there.
Another conversation.
Exactly.
But it's actually a good conversation because we also need to talk about it.
So that's not the question.
I'm not forgetting the question. The question is still there.
So let me answer that question. Maybe you forget this one.
I can't forget it.
So yeah. So Ndani.
Yeah, skinny girl and Ndani.
So basically, I was in this process, not really making money, and then Bumi Ajakai recommends me because I think she directed something for, I think, Skinny Girl 4.
Yes,
for them.
I think so.
Yeah. And she wrote on 4. And then I think they wanted, so she said they asked for writers.
Yeah.
So she recommended me to write on Rumor Has It too.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to them, and blah, blah, blah. We spoke, yada, yada, yada. And I'll be honest with you, it's weird because, and the reason I mentioned the pitch I did before, because I obviously wanted to work with Danny. And because I like to believe that I'm a loyal person, right? It's weird because I actually was going to turn Ndani down.
Why?
Because the writing room was so intense. As in things were so intense on Battleground. And like, if I had left, it would have been harder for, obviously not, I'm not saying, obviously I've already mentioned, I wasn't like the greatest in the room. But I was helping. And it might have been harder for them to hit the targets because, TX State was really close.
Yes.
And there were threats that we might go black. Obviously those threats, I don't know if they were threats, but that's what production made us feel like, So I actually was going to turn it down. But then I spoke to my head writer about it, Kemi Adesoye, and she's like, "Are you mad?
Like, what?
You're not getting money here. Somebody is offering you money. It's a good platform. Why don't you do it? As in, just do it. As in, manage when you can, And then, luckily for us, when I now agreed to do it, when I said out, when during the period of then writing, you know how sometimes things can just slow down on production.
Yes.
Things just slowed down on the battleground end. So I was just like, if I had not taken this thing, I would have cost myself. But that's how I wrote Rumor. So I wrote Rumor Has It too.
First.
Okay. Yeah. They liked it. Then they came on board and said, "Oh, do you want to work on?" I remember Bimbo called me. Bimbo is my person. Bimbo called me. Obviously, I met Bimbo at Ndani at that point.
Yeah.
They really like my writing, that they want to bring me on Skinny Girl in Transit soon. I was like, okay. Skinny Girl in Transit. So I was like, okay. She said you're not excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. This is how my face is normally. Because Skinny Girl was big.
It was huge.
But I had never watched it. So I didn't understand, like, why now for me I should be excited over this thing. So I can be like that sometimes. Like, so yeah, obviously. So that's how so basically my relationship with Ndani started with RHI. Romo Has It too. And then Skinny Girl and every other thing.
And here you are now, the king of web series.
Where's my crown? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is not random, but were you a rapper before?
Hey God, why did you say that? Are you a spiritualist? Why did you say that?
It's a question, yes or no?
I was a wannabe rapper.
Was wannabe?
Because when I was in uni, I went to Unilag. When I was in uni, there were a group of guys that used to, like, in their BQ, they had like a studio. They went on to be like a rap group called, they're a rap group, Straight Butter.
Okay.
Straight Butter, actually, when they came out, I think, I don't know if, the most popular person you probably know is Eva. That's her name? Alodia. Eva Alodia.
Yes.
The first song she released was with Straight. Okay, sorry, that I know of. Let me not go and be
Okay.
putting things out. The first song she released that I know of was with Straight Butter. So Tech, who is a producer, one of the key guys, Tech Zilla, he's he was on Chalk City at some point as a producer. But now he does a lot of rap stuff with it. So he's more core rap, like with Mode 9 kind of thing.
Okay.
He's produced for Cannibos in Canada. Cannibos is like a rapper, like some guy that used to beef with LL Cool J back in the day. So basically that kind of thing. So yeah, basically I used to go to the studio, as in with them, and I used to be like a studio rat. Like I used to be like, I can rap. But I'll tell you this thing. Right? I'll be honest. I was in that room. All of them used to be like called, and I was one of the first. If I was going to be a rapper, I probably would have been like Fouls, because even then, when I used to be like, we have to incorporate like this Nigerian thing. You can't just be going, And then to show how old I am, and then Rugged Man came out, and everybody realized that, there's something. Lani has sense, So, but basically, I recorded one song. I recorded once. No. I recorded one song. It was one of those songs that was on their laptop. And then one day I was in Jan, and then Tech calls me and is like, "Guy, I just deleted your song." I'm like, "Why didn't you send it to me?"
Why did you delete it? Why did you delete it?
And he was just like, "Oh man, dude, that it was really." He was listening to you now, and like I spat some bars.
So why did he delete it?
Don't mind. He just, I think he was just trying to clear his laptop. I think he was on the project and was trying to clear his laptop, so it was like a bunch of. But yeah, so I did record a song, and the truth is that one of the things I say that I'm probably going to, when my kids are older, or when I have kids that are older, I'm probably going to. I hope to have like a family tradition where, as a family, we release an album for just the family, just because I feel like, and it's interesting you say that, because I think that one of my key strengths, I don't know, is dialogue.
Okay.
And I believe that a lot of that came from my rapping days, as like writing bars, so rather than writing chunky dialogues, how can you compress what you're trying to say in short form, as in like, so I believe, as in obviously connecting the dots, looking backward, I believe that a lot of that came from writing bars, because I used to write like.
So in summary, you love words. Can we say that?
I love rhythm. And how Aaron Sorkin says that dialogue, that's my uncle. Dialogue is rhythm, so I think it's more of, I love rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I went to I went to thanks to Afrif, I went to film school in France at some point.
When?
I don't know the year, but it was funny enough. It was on when I was on Battleground 1. I like
See, Battleground Run was so eventful for you.
I mean, guys, as in that was like school for me.
Yeah.
But it was on Battleground 1. I remember I was on Battleground 1. I had to leave the project and go to France because it was 3 weeks, I think.
Okay.
Thanks to Afrif, I have to mention. So it was scholarship and things like that. What was I going to say? So yeah, so another thing, so one of the things I learned there was actually, and it stuck with me, but I haven't even thought about it since until now that I was saying it. But so we had to write like a monologue, and the tutor or the lady, Tanya, she's like, there's a metron, I think that's what it's called, a metronome. So like, is that what it's called? Like, what's the pace of so it's like, what's the pace of the dialogue? It's like maybe in music now, what's the kick, as in so that you can like how the flow is going to be. So she's like, so when we were writing the dialogue, she's like, it's not flowing. So it's crazy because she's like, okay, it's not flowing. Is there a reason it's not flowing? It's because the character is now angry and he's going out of rhythm in his dialogue. It's just weird thing, like the science of dialogue. But it was for me, it was very interesting. And because I studied mathematics, it's like
you studied.
See, my life is
hey.
So it's
You're the
very
second person I know.
Yeah, yeah. I studied, me and Fifi
same class.
in this. No, I think I don't even know if we were in the same class. But we were in the same department. We know the same lecturers. If we were not in the same class, we were a year apart. But we only found out, obviously.
Mathematicians that became writers. Yeah. Very cool. So I said about France and
so yeah, so it was the metronome. So I was just talking about dialogue and obviously how, like, right. So I think I'm more in love with rhythm. You know. But it's just that the way it works in Nigeria is that sometimes you don't get to interact with the actors for them to understand, you know, this rhythm and where it's coming from. And so a lot of that gets lost. But obviously, the truth is that sometimes I just still try to apply, especially in things I'm writing for myself, like just the things I say I'm creating, like, because I'm just trying to improve myself, my writing, you know, and I'm not. So yeah, I hope I'm.
So will you ever go back to rapping?
No. But yes, for the
your family album,
yes, I will do that. But no, I don't think I will be a great rapper.
Have you ever produced?
Yeah, when +234, I was a producer. So I started off as a producer, as in producer writing. And it goes back to that thing you said where do you advise people to leave their jobs? Actually, I do advise people to leave their jobs in that they won't come and find me on Linda Ikeji. As a lot of people say, so it's not like I'm the one that says it, is that our society sort of celebrates mediocrity. And I realized when I was producing and writing and doing all those things, I realized that even though on +234, people said, man, this is the best thing they've ever read in Nollywood. They loved the way the dialogue was tip tap, tip tap. Obviously, that comes from rapping, and I used to blog back in the
You've lived a life.
I've lived it. I've hustled.
Yes.
So I had to make a decision to leave producing and focus on writing and improve my writing.
Yeah.
Because writing in itself is tough. It's hard. There are levels to writing that we've not achieved, but people will celebrate me. People will celebrate people. And if you get lost, so I like to tell people, use the hype, but don't believe the hype. Like, people will.
Yeah, because I feel the minute someone tells me this is the best thing I've read in Hollywood, I am going to just be so afraid. I was like, hey, God, what have I written?
Exactly.
And I will be so afraid.
Yeah. So even within the industry, I had to leave producing to focus on writing. And people were like, are you sure that's a smart thing to do? There's money in producing. Yes, now that I've improved my writing, there's still levels to get to.
Yeah.
But I believe I can now add on producing.
Yes.
And
I also recommend every writer should actually try producing.
Yeah. So it was when I removed that whole producing thing. I was able. I created. Trust me, I was just writing things. A lot of them, and yeah, a lot of them had got picked up. A lot of things I wrote there, and sometimes it's something I think was it last year or 2 years ago. I was like, Lani, you've not really created stuff. You're just doing commissioned work. I
Yeah.
haven't really like dug deep from myself. Like, what do you really want to say? You
But you've
know,
been busy, that's why.
exactly, which you can get lost in that
Yes.
busyness, and then it becomes a job, which is why you I left my accounting
Yes.
job. So once it becomes a job, it's no more the same
Gin-
boom, the same,
ginger.
yeah, the same ginger, exactly. And
Yeah.
then sometimes it tells in your writing.
Yes. It's not
So
sounding the same.
yeah, it's so there's this thing that I do. I don't know that yes, even this time I kind of did it. Um, so I write on African Magic, as you know.
Yeah.
African Magic is a long project. After a project of African Magic, because the writing on telenovela is quite different. You're stretching story. After writing, what I then do is I then write a pilot episode
Mm.
as though I want to sell it to Hollywood. Like it's a 6 episode. I then write a pilot. It's just to adjust, like let
Yeah.
things balance out in
Yes, I
me.
guess.
So that I don't just get used to telling this long form content.
Because even
Where you
with
can
African Magic, when you're switching to a new show, you still have to like get yourself out of that old show
exactly
and adjust.
to the
So
new, yeah,
you need
exactly.
to
So it's
also.
something I try to do. Like I just try to get out of that whole flow, write like a pilot.
Yes.
Just like a pilot. So I have like 2 3 pilots on my.
That's awesome. Have you ever directed?
I directed a short film in France. The short film
Okay.
I wrote, but it never came out.
Fair. But do you see yourself doing more directing here in Hollywood?
So I tell people that, especially the way I see that, I tell people that I haven't studied directing enough to be the kind of director I want to be. I don't want to go on and then just be a commission director. Like I'm making decent money as a writer.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing directing just because I want to say, oh, Lani Aisida film. No,
Mm.
that's not why I want to direct. And I haven't studied directing. And then one of the I don't know if it's a mistake, but one of the things I tell people, someone I speak to, is that like I don't know about cameras. I don't know about all these things. I don't even like sometimes I can be watching. I don't pick up on the color scheme. I don't
Yeah.
pick up on those things. So I don't think I'm a director. And it says, guy, the cinematographer. You can be like the guy that is directing the actors. And funny enough, that was one thing when when I directed a short film in France. Obviously wasn't the greatest, but it was one of the things someone picked up on when I like to ask for feedback. So I
Yes.
was asking for feedback for how did I do, what could I have improved on. And the guy said that, to be honest, one of the key things that he was impressed with me was when everybody was talking about it, as in sustainable, that I was always with my actors. That was my
Yes.
own focus
Yeah,
because I
because
didn't know anything about
it reminds me of
audio.
what you said about like writers here don't really get the opportunity to be with actors enough.
Yes, exactly. So I
Yes.
was always, so he said that he was really impressed with that.
Yeah.
And that so yeah, so that's so I feel like if I'm going to direct, I'll probably need either a co-director that
Or
is
a good
or a good
cinematographer.
cinematographer
Mm-hmm.
that is is focused on his head is there regarding all the other things. But yeah,
Okay. Okay, so let's pause on the questions. I like to
yes.
do no, I like to I'm doing I like to do I see I've done it plenty times. But there's this thing I've done like I think with 2 people now so far. 2 truths and 1 lie.
uh,
A
uh,
way to just
uh,
like is
uh,
it break the ice or just
uh,
like
uh.
don't worry,
Okay, so
I've not researched
I
you
should
enough.
right.
So
Um,
you tell me 3 things and I'll guess the 2 truths
yeah,
and the one that is a lie.
yeah.
So yeah.
Um, I want to think of the 3 things first, so I don't say them as they go. So it can be easy for you to pick up on which is which. Um, I have I play the guitar. Um, I have one brother. Why? I play the guitar. I have one brother, and
Why did you whisper the last part? Ah, that's actually hard.
Wait. No, I have to scratch that. Wait.
Because you didn't tell a lie, Abby. See?
Wait. Um, but that you see, the thing is, there are things that come into my head, but I feel like you might know them. That's why I'm trying to. I play the guitar.
Okay.
I have one brother.
Okay.
I support Tottenham. Hotspur.
Okay. So, God, I think the lie is you have one. The lie is you have one brother. I just assumed because of music you play.
Yeah. And I'm a bad singer, so that first one had 2 lies.
Ah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh no, that's not right.
I can that Tottenham one. I know it's
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's why I was like,
let
let me just give it to you.
Okay. So this was like you mentioned it in one of your answers before, but I'm going back to you about like a common misconception about being a writer in Nollywood. Like what's a common misconception? Like you've gotten, of course, your own personal experience.
I don't know a misconception, but I don't know if this falls into what you're asking, but it's something producers say. I can write it, but I don't
Ah.
have time.
Yes.
Yeah. Does that
That's
fall
it.
into misconception?
It's not really, but
okay,
it's more of
okay,
what
so
people think. Like when you say you're a writer in Nollywood, what people like assume it is, but it's not. I think that should be the meaning of the
okay, so
word.
I'll say another one. Its conception is that misconception is that writers don't have money. I know
But
that's not
do
what
we
you're
have
expecting.
money?
No, but in the industry, there are really good paid writers
Of course, there's
that are getting paid well more than people that you see on the gram, as in like actors and maybe the
yes.
directors. They're low key earning good money that I know of, that I want to be like.
How do we find them? I want to be
So
like them.
I just want to say that, and the reason I'm saying that is for young writers coming in, so that you know that there's something to aspire to,
Yes.
even just within the writing. Because I'm one of the firm believers that a lot of people should focus on just writing for a while. Like, let the quality of what we're writing, what we're seeing on TV be better. And it all boils down to let's forget what producing, and as writers, let's try and be better. First of all, I know there's a lot that comes in with the directing, the acting, but as writers, like genuinely, like if for instance, when I release or when a project is released that I wrote, people can come for the acting. People can come. Sometimes I was in a, and I don't know if this is a thing. I was in the, what do they call that thing? Reading room. As in, basically, the actors were reading.
Green room.
No. The actors were reading the script
Or
before
table read.
Table read. I was at
Yeah.
a table read, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is so great!" And they were clapping. My head was, but I just sent a message to the director that please get them to talk about the things that are not great, so that the scripts can be better.
Exactly.
So I'm just one of those kind of people. Like, it's great. It's great to hear. To be fair, it's great to hear that this stuff is really good. But I'm like, it can be better.
Yes.
And I feel like writers need to get in that space and know that if they do better, they can earn more money.
Yes.
That's why, like, so writers some writers have money.
I think it's actually important for them to know, because a lot of people like enter and get comfortable in that writers don't get paid, so they'll take anything that's thrown at them.
Exactly, that as well. So,
yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so this is another another phone question, but shall I another like common? I know a lot of writers talk about this a lot, but I'll say 3. You can list 3, like 3 projects that you wish you had written or you wrote on. It could be Nollywood or international.
Ooh, first one. Newsroom.
Of course, your uncle. Your uncle.
I can now go and let me just not name all his other as in the other projects, so that. But Newsroom, international. I don't know. Even this writing, I won't say that. Wish I wrote on. It's just like it really impacted the way I write. Newsroom. There's this show. That script changed the way I write my scripts, and I can't remember the name of the show.
What's it about?
Witherspoon.
Big Little Lies? No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
didn't watch season 2. I heard season 2 wasn't great.
Yeah, was
But
dragging.
Big Little Lies, I don't know. There was just, first of all, there was something about the show for me.
Yeah.
And then I read the scripts, and there's a way the script was written, like the writer wasn't trying to prove I can write.
Yes.
It wasn't trying to. It was just
Those
right.
are always the best scripts.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
I felt the script. So I think it was David E. Kelly. So yes, so that was a project that really influenced me. Am I answering your question? But that's the project I wish I could write on.
Yes.
Nigerian project that I wish I could write on. I have to call one Nigerian project. That
See,
I wish.
Don't restrain yourself. You can name 5. Have fun. Feel free.
No, I'm even trying to think of what Nigerian. There's a Nigerian movie I really like.
Which one?
3 Thieves.
Oh, everybody really likes it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
about to watch it.
It hasn't been on Netflix. But I'm going to watch it.
It's
sorry, it's on Netflix, but I haven't watched it on Netflix,
Oh,
so I'm
okay,
going to rewatch it.
Okay.
But I went to the cinema, and then I used to. So basically, I have I take a writing class for young writers. So basically, so that was like a field trip
Let them
where we went to.
Give us your hand. Let them reach out to you.
So we had a field trip. So we went to the cinema to watch 3 Thieves, and the general feedback was that they weren't expecting to like it as much.
Yes.
I loved 3
Same.
Thieves.
I won't even like to be honest. But I remember when I think Bucci was he was filming during Jimeji and I was on set then.
Right.
So it was really, I was giving him side eye. I was like,
that's how they always hype all this.
Like I was just not interested. But now I see people love it. I'm like, okay, that's really good for them.
I really love 3 Thieves. So that's a Nigerian project that however it's a project that I probably won't have taken on because I don't take on comedies.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Trino Studios have reached out to me for a comedy before. Trino Studios who did 3 Thieves, and I just said I don't take on comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not. Nah, man. I'll dramatize your comedy
Yeah.
story. So yeah, but that was a project. TV series. I don't want to mention one I've been on. I'll have to think about that.
Okay, that's fair. But those answers are actually pretty solid anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your most validating moment as a creator? I know it doesn't have to be one because clearly you said a few that I'm just like, these are lit moments. But for you, the moment you're like...
validating moment as a creator is a bit personal. There's one, I wouldn't mention it.
Okay, just share the one
Actually,
you're
I've met, yeah, even this one. So, obviously, when I left my job, obviously my mom being an accountant, my mom cried, like because I was about to get married.
Oh dear, she was afraid.
Yes, that is boy. He wants to go and embarrass me. he wants to trade his life. He wants to go and marry a woman and not take care of her. But then sorry for. I'm sorry for not wanting you to branch out. Blah blah blah.
Nigerian parents apologizing.
Yeah, so it just felt like. Yeah, I knew that there were still levels I wanted to get to, but it felt like, okay, that means I'm doing something right. So yes, I think that was a validating moment for me.
And is she still supportive?
No. So my family is weird. My family is not weird, right? My family were close, but we're not the kind of people that will be like, oh, we're supporting or we're not supporting. If you need me, I'm here for you. As in, even in the moment of, I went to, if I need anything, I'll go to my mother now.
That's support. But
exactly.
That's
so she was always supporting me, even, so I don't want to say that, oh, she now started supporting me. She was always supporting. It was just, if you need me,
Does she watch your shows?
No.
Huh, okay.
So she's not a TV person.
Okay. So that's her own thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like, obviously there are times she'll sit down when I'm now there. She'll sit down like, oh, let me even watch what they're doing herself. So she's not that kind of person. But I never felt like I didn't have her support or my father's support. I never felt like that. So that's why it's weird to now say, oh, now I had their support after.
Yeah.
So my family has always had my back. There were times I'm broke. When I just left, I'm broke. I beg guys, square me money, man. Yeah.
Fair.
And they never threw it in my face that, oh, Shebi, you should have.
Mm.
So yeah.
That sounds like support to me anyway. So
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Okay, so we're coming to an end.
Woohoo!
Well, basically, this is the end. But like one final question:
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the future? You know what? Let me pause and go back.
Yes.
Like, do you have any big picture goals? Like, do you see yourself becoming a is it studio person, like a a Shonda,
So I'll
a
be honest
Aaron
with you.
Sokin?
Again, it's weird. One of my big picture goals.
Sorry, my brain keeps saying, is it Aaron or Aaron?
I don't even know.
Like, my
Some
brain
of
is
our
like,
family
Aaron.
members, we call him Aaron. Some of us call him Aaron. So,
But anyway, sorry, continue.
I call him Aaron Sokin.
Okay.
One of my big picture goals. Yeah, that's why it's big picture anyway. Is to be the DG of NTA. To be the Director General
Wow.
of NTA.
Wow. Okay.
I know that I
You
might
need
not be
to know
able
I
to.
have personal beef with NTA.
I do too, but the
Yes.
truth is that on a personal level, or even if I'm not DG, I want to be one of the people that make NTA work.
Can it ever? Because is it not federal? Is it?
Yeah, but you have to believe. Like, because the point you don't believe anymore, then there's a problem. You have to. So that's one of my. So my big picture goal really has nothing to do with me as a person. It's about getting the national. It's about getting our national TV to be to be like BBC, to be like
Yes.
to show content that is informative, that is educative, that is
Yes.
instructive, that is part of the formative process of a generation. Because now the truth is that a generation has passed. How the
Yes.
government is going to solve the problem, I don't know. Hopefully, we survive that. But then, obviously, the thing to do next is to look at the young people. And a lot of this is from the content we watch. Because the truth is that, look, we're all influenced. We're
Yes.
influenced by the content we watch. If you're not giving us content, I'm going to watch content on BBC. I'm going to watch content on HBO. So I can't now be 18 and then you're now trying to tell me that, oh, what you're doing is wrong. That is a Western way. But
But
you did not give me an
that's the way I
alternative.
know.
You didn't
Yeah.
give me, so so for me, it's not just entertainment, it's nation building. That's how I say it. So that's my But now, but sometimes now I
Why
feel
did you
like
just shut up? You're
yeah,
like,
because
that's
sometimes
my,
I
you just
feel like
went.
I feel like it's too big and unrealistic, and I don't know how I'm going to get there, unless a miracle, or I'm going to do it
No,
unless a
you said
miracle.
yourself that you actually have to be, because if I understand, I think for me it's more of fear, because again we know we live in a place where you start something and it's snatched out of your hands.
Yeah,
And it's very sad. But I understand and I support the idea of revamping NTA if it can ever be revamped, because we need it.
we need it. Like all these things we're saying.
Because our parents grew up on some shows that
Which channel has the reach of NTA?
exactly.
Because sometimes we try to think that Lagos is Nigeria. What channel has the reach of NTA if you really want to talk to people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all well and good because I have a couple of few good shows on Danny and 2,000, 200,000, 1 million people are watching. What percentage of that is diaspora? Right? But let's not.
It's largely diaspora, because
Exactly.
when I was in uni, I learned of Skinny Girl.
Exactly.
So
So it's the whole thing, but I think you get my point.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you get my point. So there's that, but then shorter term, that's big picture. Short term is weird because I just started thinking about this like a month ago. I want to do an Ed Sheeran.
You want to take a break?
Yeah. and I don't know if
Well, you're actually tired because Lani has been working. We've been working from. I can't even. I was going to say December, but no. Before that, Battleground
oh yeah,
was it
exactly.
straight from Battleground
From battleground to the
to now.
battleground, exactly till
So that's
now.
like 2017 to
Yeah,
2021
exactly.
straight.
You know, so I want to do an Ed Sheeran, and I want to see if I can. I don't know that I want to build something like I don't because to be honest, I'm not one that is up for my name is everywhere. I'm not really one like that. To be fair, I read something about Shonda Rhimes, and she's not like that. Even this whole
Like what? Like what?
like what Shondaland
Yeah.
is not something like it's her team that had to kind of force it on her, like putting her name and making
And
a
you
whole
know,
business
like
thing
she's
out of
one
it.
of the few, not few, but for me, from my
Yeah,
own like POV, like she's one of the few executive producers that she gives credit.
exactly. So
She's
she's
not
not like
hugging it. Because
hoarding.
I remember when people thought she was writing How to Get Away with Murder, and she kept tweeting every night that I am not
I'm
the
not.
writer. This is the writer. Like she will add the guy at his production house. And I was like, this is so impressive. Like
Exactly.
she's not claiming all
So
the glory.
exactly. So I think it just happened on. I won't say it just happened on her, but it's something that it's deserved. I don't think it's something that she was seeking to have this whole Shondaland and everybody look at me. I don't. I think it happened because of what she did.
Yeah.
You know. So as well, I'm not really looking for Lani Land, to be honest. I'm looking for. So even if I take this break, or if not, I want to go into more. I want to take more of a back seat and like I want to go maybe work in a studio. African Magic,
But
please give me
recognition
job.
is good
Recognition
for
is good,
writers.
but then I feel like it goes back to what I'm trying to say with NTA. It's really not about me. If look at what's happening in Nigeria, it's really not about me anymore. It's about one, helping the younger generation of writers to help them understand why story. Because a lot of people don't understand the impact of story. It's like I tell people, like I'm not
Yes.
right. I'm not writing story for story's sake. Like if I'm writing this storyline, as in like I want people to ask themselves certain questions. If because
Yes.
so the skill that obviously over time is that I'm learning is that how can I be not preachy in what I'm writing? It's entertaining. So some people can you can even go. So I'll give you an example that I think we did well. Not just me. That I think we did well. Rumor has its season 2. I don't know if you've
I
watched it.
enjoyed it.
Yes. So a lot of people will go away with the entertainment factor, which is great. But one of the conversations we had, producers, everybody, was a conversation that two characters had in in episode 8 or so when um Franklin Maoli,
Okay.
he had left home and his doctor who we set up that was he cheating with her, she came to the I don't know if you remember, she came to the hotel and we felt like they were going to have a moment.
Yeah.
And because his wife had cheated, for context, his wife had cheated on him. He left home trying to clear his head, trying
She's
to
still
figure out
him with
what
a
to do
crazy
with a
person.
crazy, you know. And then his doc his she wasn't a therapist, she was a doctor, as in fertility doctor, you know, but a friend. Let me just say friend. And then she comes and she's giving him advice and she says something for us, which was now that is the theme, which is that what does she say? She says, Frank, I've been down this road before. You're hurting, but I've been down this road. Divorce is not always the answer. So even you now is probably something it was very subliminal, but hopefully who
Yes.
got it got as in like, but because the whole show was about divorce, as in like a
Yes.
couple going through
Yes. Like, will he
and
leave?
will
Like,
he
okay,
leave?
she's the one that's cheating now.
Exactly. But
Yes.
that's not the first thing you think about when you watch the show.
Yes. To be honest, I was like, I didn't think that way.
Exactly. But those are the ways we want to be able to hide subject matters in entertainment. And it's not always about my name being the credit. It's about taking the backseat, being in a studio, hopefully, and then helping broadening the impact you can have. It's because yes, I've written. You know, I can write.
Yes.
I've
Exactly.
written.
I don't need to prove
I've
myself
written on
again.
African Magic. I've written like I said, I've written across the 4 different markets in the industry. I know I can write. I know you know I can write. Now let me try and impact, because the truth is that anybody. I said a couple of things. For me, Nigeria cannot get better unless they bring screenwriters to the table. I know everybody will be like, because the truth.
No, it's truth.
Yeah, because and the thing is that so for me to be able to believe that, I need to scale down. First of all, think about it on state level. Lagos State. Is Lagos State bringing screenwriters to the table? Lagos State isn't bringing. Scale it down again. So because right now I'm only doing by myself. How much impact can you have by yourself?
Yes.
If I'm on the studio level, because scaling down from states is now maybe going to studio level, I'm now impacting 2, 3, 4 projects. Then so it's not because I've proved to myself that I can write.
Yes.
I've proved to because I'm busy, so a couple of producers
Exactly.
are calling me.
Obviously,
so
you're doing
people know
something
exactly.
right. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the best, so it's not like I'm not trying to build Lani Land to say, oh, I'm the best. Look at my no, that's not. We can't continue like this. We have to all play a role in helping the country. Yes, and I've gone into vote for me 2023. Vote for Lani Aisida 2023.
Well, that's actually very good.
But
now.
yeah, that's my thought process. Fake deep.
It's not how. See, this is my problem. See, this is my problem with writers. Like, you say something that's actually very impactful. The next thing, fake deep.
Don't mind us. We
no,
like
I didn't
hiding
mean that.
behind.
I beg. I'm tired of this. Like, this is the fake. This is the fake deep. All this fake humility. I'm not buying it.
Okay, so deep.
Yes. Hashtag
Snap
deep.
your fingers. Yes.
It's true, but okay.
But yeah, that's my thought process.
I like your thought process. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lani.
Thank you
for
for
honoring
tuning
my
in.
invitation
Yes.
and
It's only you
for
that can feed me.
spitting bars.
Yes, give 16 bars. Give it to them.
Yeah,
Come and
thank
sign
you.
me. Yeah.
Thank you. So I think this is it. No, I think this is the
This
end.
is the end.
Yes, this is the
Yes,
end. Yes. Thank you.
Be out, peace out. Be out, peace out. Be out, peace out. Be out, peace out. Be out, peace out.